Welcome to this week's episode of NTV Seeds of Gold, proudly brought to you by Bukola Chemical Industries Limited and Youth Platform Africa for the expert opinion. Last week, we visited Senga Farm in Bombo, where we explored mixed farming, and we hope you picked up a few lessons along the way. I'm your host, Sheila Nabafu. Let's get the show started.
So I said I need to find something that I can do that can be relevant beyond just teaching. I also can diversify income sources. So I started by planting trees. We use this as the seed. In layperson's language, you call them branches.
Branches.
So it is from this that we get the seedlings. So you see they inserted in the middle. So we want the plant to develop straight.
Tonight is special. We are shining a light on environmental conservation, climate change, and so much more as we visit the largest tree and fruit nursery in the West Nile region. With the help of my colleague, Lamu, who's already on ground with all the details. Lamu, what do we have lined up?
Yes, Sheila, we are surely so glad to be in Arua right now. This is Seeds of Gold, and we are visiting Wefo West Nile foresters. Very exciting. I am going to be interviewing a gentleman. He is a doctor, but he's also a farmer. He's going to let us know all the things that happen right here. Hello.
Hello.
Maybe you can start with introducing yourself to the people.
Hello, my name is Bernard Oba. I am a farmer. I also work at the university. I'm a senior lecturer at Makerere University.
Oh, what do you teach at the university?
I teach courses related to how agricultural professionals work with communities. So we are the outreach arm of the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences. So we work closely with communities and farmers. I have a PhD in rural sociology, but with the specialization in agriculture, environment, and social development.
Oh, that's amazing. So it's safe to say you're an expert in these things.
Yes.
It is. So what do you do here?
Here we are a business. Our initial business has been raising tree seedlings. We raise all kinds of tree seedlings from timber species to fruit trees and sometimes ornamentals. So all the kinds of seedlings that people grow in West Nile region, we do raise them here. And then we support farmers in terms of technical guidance, in planting trees. Now we are moving towards promoting some specific value chains, including cocoa, coffee, and cashew nuts. Initially, we were selling seeds as seedlings, but now we are moving beyond that and trying to support value chain development for some of the key crops that we think can help farmers here earn more money. Yes. As West Nile foresters, we have this compulsory tree seedlings nursery where we are seated, where we produce all the seedlings that we have. And then we are developing a larger estate where we are planting some of the things that we produce about 25 minutes drive from here, where we establish an estate for cocoa, for coffee, for cashew, which can also act as a venue where we train farmers and eventually where we can be able to aggregate this for marketing. So that's what we do broadly.
Yeah.
But this is where we started,
Yeah.
and this is our commercial tree seedlings nursery, which is certified and has been in production for about this is our 8th year.
We often find inspiration to try new things at different stages in life. And our farmer tonight is no exception. This farm has its own remarkable beginning, and the tale of what inspired the doctor to get started is one worth hearing.
But what inspired Wefo?
I didn't really set out to establish something like this. I think somehow it just evolved. In 2014, there was a very long strike by academic staff at Makerere. Now, in that strike, the president, His Excellency, asked people to go and rear goats. And people didn't take that seriously, but some of us did. Then we started questioning, what else can we do beyond just being professionals there? People criticize us for for not practicing what we do. That we have studied agriculture, but we do nothing. So I said I need to find something that I can do that can be relevant beyond just teaching. I also can diversify income sources. So I started by planting trees. And then I quickly realized we didn't have quality seedlings. And then the ones in the market were expensive. And so I said, but can I start growing my own seedlings so I can reduce costs and then plant? And then I started a small nursery within the city called Zebra Corner. So the initial name was Zebra Corner Tree Nursery. So there we started producing seedlings. And then my colleague advised me that there is certification for nurseries, that if you meet some requirements, FAO can certify the nursery, and then when they are supporting communities, tree growing, they can buy from you. So I quickly got those guidelines, and then we started improving what we had. So in 2018, we barely met the conditions, but they certified us 2018. And then the good thing is they also gave us a contract to supply. We were not known, but FAO gave us a contract to supply, and the contract gave us quite some money. So part of the money is what I use for extending this land where those cars are parked. So some of the trees we produced in the initial place are these ones here you see, where we're seated. These trees were moved from town to the new place. So that's how
they were moved as seedlings, or
as seedlings.
They were still young, right?
Yes, they were very young. Yes, they were like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
When we moved the nursery here, so we started by planting what we had. So this is Grevillea, which we moved from there here to all plant around the farm.
Actually, that's amazing that you did this, because as we were working in the team, one of our team members mentioned that they like that they can see a product, a full product of your seedlings, because many times you visit a place and they have the seedlings, but they don't have proof of how big the tree can get. So this is a very good example of how your seedlings can grow and become trees.
Thank you. Yeah. All these trees you see here, we produce them there. So when somebody comes to buy, we take them, say, you look at that eucalyptus, those are the first ones we produced. So those are about 6 years. So we can tell you, this is how they will grow. Those are 6 years. If you plant this, within 6 months, they'll be taller than you. So we give details how these things grow. All the tree species we grow here, all these fruit trees are the ones we have produced here. Now they are at the stage where they're giving us fruits. So we take the farmer through to indicate how this thing is planted and how it will grow, and at what stage it will reach what you are seeing.
Let's take it back to something you already mentioned. Actually, you talked about requirements to get certified. Maybe before, if you're able to share with us some of these requirements that someone might have to meet to get certified. But before that, how much it would even take to start a business like this?
Yeah, thank you. I think a business like this depends on the scale you are starting at. If you want a very small scale and you have the skills, it may not cost that much money. You will need to acquire some basic things. One would be, of course, you need to have access to land. That might be the biggest for someone who wants to do that. You need to have access to land. Secondly, you need then the necessary materials for these things. You will need the potting materials, for example, where the soil mixture is. Then you need to have access to the seed. You need to buy seed from certified sources that determine quality. Then of course, you will need some of the tools that you need, wheelbarrows and spades and all these you need for mixing soil, for doing that. And of course, you will also need some kind of protective wear. And if you have some money, you can construct a greenhouse. If not, you can have a shed that can shield the seedlings from what? You can start with an ordinary shed and what? To create an environment, a cool environment where the seedlings can grow. So you can start at that. But still, these ones require some money. And the most important thing is knowledge and passion for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Before stepping into this business, there are important factors you need to understand to give yourself the best chance to achieve success.
What are some of the requirements to get certified?
There are many requirements. For FAO, one of the main things they want to see is that you have got seed. The seeds you are planting are from credible sources. You need to buy seeds from like the National Seed Center. Some of the seeds we import them. So you need to buy seeds from credible sources. If the seed is not good, the product cannot be good. So one of the main things they consider, do you get these seeds from credible sources? If it is no, they won't even bother asking other questions. That's the main one. And then the other one also is access. Is this place accessible? Can we go to the place? And then within here, there are many other things. Do you have, is the place clean enough? Do you have hygiene facilities for workers? How do you treat the workers? And then, of course, what kind of materials you use and the dimensions for whether, and what soil combinations do you use for planting, and more of those technical things. What soil combinations you are using, the dimensions of the materials you are using, and the method used for planting, are they appropriate? So some of the management practices within, they can observe, and what kind of quality, what's the quality of seedling that you have. Say like for pine, they want to see that the kind of soil you use is from, is obtained under an old pine plantation, which has been there for at least 13 years, 10, 13 years, so that it has what we call mycorrhiza. There's a type of bacteria that's called mycorrhiza. It enhances the root functioning for pine. So if you plant pine with the soil from another place, without that bacteria, the pine will not grow. So they want to see, break the pot and see, are there signs of mycorrhiza within the root system? So there are many of these technical considerations they have. And also, they also consider whether you can at least have the capacity of producing 100,000 seedlings. Your facility, can it produce 100,000 seedlings?
Would you, so your facility is able to produce over 100,000?
We can produce over 2 million seedlings.
Oh,
yes.
That is incredible. I don't know why in my mind I thought that would need so much extra.
No.
That is amazing.
This is a very big place.
Yeah.
Most commercial tree seedlings are actually smaller than this.
How many acres are these, or how much land is this?
This is about 7 acres.
7 acres. That's quite a lot. Is it all being used yet?
It's all
like
being
to
used.
Maximum?
It's all being used. You see the fences around here.
Yeah.
We still have some space here, but
yeah,
we are going to integrate some more things. Say like if we introduce some animals, we're trying to set up a piggery unit down there to raise that. We can integrate some of those because in the long run, we want this to be a learning center. When students come here, they see a bit of every activity here.
Keep scanning that QR code on your screen. We would love to connect with and hear from you. When we return, we'll look at who actually gives our farmer the gold in exchange for the trees. Do not go away. Running a successful venture like this doesn't happen overnight. It takes careful planning and the right approach. The doctor is taking Lamu through the essential steps with solid, practical advice on how to manage such a business from the very beginning.
Are you able to share with us some of the steps that it takes to plant these trees, for them to become seedlings up to whatever level you reach before you sell them off? What are these steps that you take?
We have various kinds of seedlings here, and the steps will differ. Will depend on the type of seedlings we have. Where we're seated here, this is the mother garden for clonal eucalyptus. They are produced from what we call technical as coppices, but in layman's language we can say they are produced from branches of this. So you cut this, you see those gentlemen there, cut this, you take it to the shed where you cut it into sizes that can fit in a routine pot where they are growing. We shall be able to see the activity there. So once that is done, then they take it to, there's a bed laid with pots. So they use some chemicals which encourage root formation. and then they dip it in it, and then they plant. Cover it with 2 layers of white sheet, and then open it once a week to check the moisture levels, see if everything is okay. So in the 4th week, in the 3rd week, they will remove 1 layer of that, and then in the 4th week, they remove all the layers. So by that time, the plants would have started growing. So after about a week or 2 within the greenhouse, then they bring it out here, just behind you here.
Yeah.
These are from the greenhouse. So
now those are the
after about
seedlings.
10 weeks, these are seedlings. After about 10 weeks, then these are
ready.
good to go.
Ready to be sold.
Yeah, ready to be sold. You can plant them. Most of these are ready to be planted. That is for clonal eucalyptus. It follows a similar thing for clonal coffee, but for it we don't use chemicals for its root formation.
Yeah.
It does root by itself
On its own.
and then there are things planted from seed. What you do is then we buy the seeds from credible sources. So when you receive seed like that, then you get the appropriate, as I said, appropriate soil mixed, and then you plant. We plant in greenhouses to enhance high survival rate. But if you don't have a greenhouse, you can make a makeshift shed to just make sure the conditions are conducive for that. So there we also grow other fruit trees like grafted mangoes. For grafted mangoes, you plant, and then it takes around 6 or 7 months, and then you can graft it.
Yeah.
For avocado, it may take up to a year for the seedling to be ready. So yes, there are various processes for different kinds of seedlings.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we would like to get into the step-by-step process of how we get the trees up to the seedlings. And this is an example of the clonal eucalyptus. This is how it is harvested. Is that the right word to say? Harvested?
Yes, we use this as the seed. What they are cutting is what we call, they are called coppices. But in layperson's language, you call them branches.
Branches.
So it is from this that we get the seedlings.
Ah.
This is the planting material. We don't grow from seed, but we grow from these planting materials.
Yeah.
So from the next stage, then we take this to the greenhouse.
Yeah. And
the greenhouse is where this will develop into seedlings.
So I noticed they don't take all the leaves away.
Yes. These are not ready.
How do you know when they are ready?
They have to reach a certain length and strength.
Oh, to be able to survive on their own.
And some of them are also branches. They are not coppices. You want them to come from the stem. Yes. If it comes from like here, it won't be what? Okay. It will be a branch.
It will be a branch.
But you want the thing to come from the real stem, which then becomes a coppice. Then that can grow straight. But if you pick it from somewhere else, sometimes
okay. So for example, this one, is this a branch?
This one.
Oh, it's.
This was a coppice.
But this one.
This one here is on this. It is a branch.
It's a branch.
So it will have to be cut off.
Okay.
We can't use it for producing because it won't grow straight.
Okay.
So now, if you go to nurseries that don't distinguish this, you can buy seedlings that won't grow straight. They keep branching. They don't have an apex like this, grow straight like these ones you see here. Yes.
And that's what you need for such a
yeah. So you need one from a real coppice that then can grow straight. Should be able to provide that apex, and then if it grows straight like can good timber and what.
Yeah.
So those are some of the quality issues that you have to consider.
I'm seeing this plant here and this one, right? If I were to remove all this, would this plant die? Would I do that? Okay, does it need some leaves to stay on for it to keep alive?
If you remove all, new leaves will sprout.
They'll keep sprouting.
Yeah, they keep sprouting, yes.
Okay.
Of course, they need the leaves because they use the leaves to manufacture food.
Food and to keep the process going.
So if a plant loses all the leaves and cannot have them back, then the plant will eventually die because it won't be able to manufacture food.
Yeah. So you have to keep that balance when you're harvesting. You have to keep the balance,
yes. Okay. Harvesting. If they overgrow, we just cut and throw down, because at some stage it again cannot develop into a seed. It has to be a certain stage. So if for some reason workers are not there or people are too busy, once they also, let's say we have to cut them down, so it's a waste. So you have to do it at a precise interval.
So they really need a lot of care.
Yeah, they need a lot of care. These are living things. So from cutting here, they have to take them immediately and put them in water. If you leave them out for long, and then they will start dying. The survival rate will be very, very low.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, okay. Should we go and check out that?
Yes, let's go to the next stage
go.
and check out.
I believe this might be, this is the third step, second.
Second.
The second step. What exactly is this activity?
This activity is called clipping.
Clipping.
Clipping. So they have to reduce them in sizes that can develop into seedlings. So you see the way they are cutting here. These are nodes. So you have to ensure that it has two nodes. Here the roots will develop in these nodes, and then it will start growing here. The new plants will come here. Sometimes both of them come, but eventually you have to leave one because you want one straight plant like this. So you insert this at this level. So when you go and plant, you insert about this size. So you leave this out. So you dip this in a chemical that will encourage root formation. Yes.
Can I see another one, just to compare? Thank you. Okay.
See,
so this is, isn't this another node?
That is no.
This.
That's another node. That's another node. So in this case, you plant around here. You can have roots developing here and here.
Okay.
So
you have to just make sure it's only one node up.
Yes, one node up. Even if there are two, you can cut them. You will leave one eventually. You get it?
Okay.
Even if 2 or 3 of those things come, we'll see there. If there are 2 or more, you will still have to cut them and then leave one.
One. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what you do. But the most important thing is, some of these have to go down. That's where the roots will come.
Okay.
Yes. If you don't have that, and if you only fix this, you may not get root formation. So from here, we now go to the greenhouse.
So this is the third stage.
Yes.
Okay. What happens in the third stage? I'm seeing a lot of different, are these chemicals or something?
Yes, these are chemicals. The third stage now is what we are calling as insertion. So those cuttings are now going to be inserted into the soil. Those will eventually develop into seedlings. But before we do that, we want to make sure this place is safe and it is safe for the plants. So we are going to apply a bit of acid here to make sure the place is sterilized so that we don't have a lot of things that can affect the establishment of the seedling.
By a lot of
we
things,
need a clean place and a place that is safe and what?
Yeah, you mean like microorganisms?
Yeah, some of those that might affect this.
The acid does not affect the plant?
The what?
The acid does not affect the plant?
No, it doesn't affect the plant at all.
Ideal.
It's a very weak concentration.
Okay.
So after this, then we will then dip each of these into what we call as a rooting chemical, a chemical that encourages root formation. Without that chemical, there will be fewer
roots
establishing and you can't develop into a plant. So the chemical is very important for root development for these.
Yeah.
The one we use here is
you cannot
called
leave
Rotex.
it to probability.
No.
You have to make sure they all root.
Yes.
Yeah.
But coffee doesn't need this. Coffee is something that we just plant it without any rooting chemical.
Naturally, it doesn't need it, or because it's going to be consumed?
No, naturally it can sprout without. But this one needs to be enhanced with that hormone.
Okay.
So he has to water. So this water has to be sufficient to to sustain it for at least 1 week, because it will be opened after 1 week to see if the moisture level is still okay and if everything is okay. And then they find it is too dry, they water lightly to just make sure that the plantlets have sufficient moisture for establishment. So they're just trying to make sure this place is safe and clean for the plantlets to establish. You see, in a lab, you have to make sure things are very clean and every place is clean enough for it not to attract pests and diseases.
I'm seeing you put is it at a date?
Yes, the date of planting.
That's so just to keep track.
We keep track of everything here.
Yeah.
So we keep track of everything, the exact date of, so it can give them an idea of when to open the
Yeah.
And also
can I try?
Oh, you can water, yes.
I can?
Yes.
May I try?
You answer.
Yeah.
You move fast, otherwise the chemical will come.
Okay.
And they raise it a bit high so that it can.
Okay.
It has to be. It has to be even. You see,
best.
This one's escaped, but good try.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've skipped it. It's okay.
So this you put drop on every?
No, they'll show you. You get one and then dip the bottom in it and then insert. So you see they inserted in the middle. So we want the plant to develop straight. These ones will be here. They will be here for 1 month, and then they open. They can observe for a few days, and then take them out. So this is they open it every week once to check if they need the moisture, if they need more water, they do. So this is the third week. This is a greenhouse. It is modified. You see the temperature here is lower and the humidity is a bit high and so after this they are taken out there in the harsh environment, so they get used to.
Yeah. Before
they're given to farmers. It's called hardening.
So these were removed yesterday?
Yes. So after 4 weeks they remove, and this is how the seedlings be, the stage in which they are. So we sort them out, and then within 4 days time, those that are strong and well established are taken out there. That's where they will take some additional 4 to 6 weeks when they are ready for planting. So a lot of them grow out. They're here. We just establish them and then move them out. After 4 or 5
I'm seeing some don't have leaves.
Yes.
Are they dead?
Some of them are dead.
Oh, so that's
because there are many issues. You can't get 100%.
You can't get 100%. Anyway.
Yes, the highest we get here used to be around 95, but now I see in smart law it's around maybe 60, 70 there.
Why do you think that's so?
There are very many factors, so we try sometimes to isolate them one by one. It could be soil related. That's why you saw when they were moving here, they were moving manure. So if the level of fertility in the soil drops, even here, the quality of the coppices becomes what? So it could be at that level, and sometimes it's also where it is harvested. Some of them are not ready for this. Their cells are not mature enough. So in harvesting there, they need to select the right coppices. So that could be one of those issues. It could also be related to other issues, the chemicals used and all that. But it's a combination of what?
Of things.
And also the time out. If you cut this thing and leave them there for a long time, they start losing viability.
A long time, like
when we are there, they left some of them on the table, but not in the water. That's why I told them quickly, you put
them in the water.
Yeah, so All those little things affect this.
Yeah.
They affect this. Say like here, it's very hot. If this would take a long time trying to fix this and cover them, again it reduces what? The rate of survival. So everything needs to be like that. But even if you do that perfect, it cannot be 100%. There will always be some other factors.
Yeah. Is this one alive?
Still
It's still
alive.
okay.
Even this.
This one might be
Now
dead.
this one might be dead.
Okay, so there's that's the difference.
Now this one.
This is a good one.
This one established it died. It could be other factors.
It even got some roots.
Yeah.
But the
Sometimes
roots,
they get infections, they get root rot and what. So you see clearly this one has wilted, it has died.
it rotted.
Yes. And I can also see that sometimes they give them too much water. So the roots cannot breathe very well.
So this one is dead.
Yes.
This one is still alive, but this is the best, right? This is
Yeah,
now.
that's
This
it,
one
yeah.
can be moved.
Yeah, this can
to
be moved
outside.
sometime, out there.
Then that one will be left. Thank you so much for sticking with us right here on NTV Seeds of Gold. We are about to take a commercial break, but do not worry, we'll be right back. We are still at West Nile Foresters. Of course, Seeds of Gold is sponsored by Bukola Chemical Industries. So keep it locked right here on NTV Uganda.
This farm is quite well established and thriving from where we are standing. It isn't magic, but rather a well-calculated strategy keeping it in such great shape.
This business goes throughout the year. There is not really a season, right, for this?
Yes, we raise seedlings throughout the year. But some nurseries are seasonal. For us, throughout
all
the year,
throughout.
we produce, like clono eucalyptus, we produce
Yeah.
throughout the year. So in the
Yeah.
dry season, when people don't buy, we keep them. We have a very
Yeah.
good system. Yeah, we can keep seedlings for 1.5 years to 2 years without getting any
Yeah.
problems. So it's not
So
a problem.
how
for us
do
to
you
produce more.
how do you keep them alive and healthy without relying on the rains? Do you have an irrigation system? How does that work?
Yes, we have an irrigation system. We'll be able to see it. We have a borehole which is powered by solar pumps and it takes to those big tanks there. We have 20,000 liters there. So it's automated. When we have sunlight like this, it just start pumping. When it is full, the pump is switched off. So we just get water. Then using gravity, we have distributed water throughout the farm. Up to the other point there's water. And then that side of greenhouse, we also do have one. So yes, we have that water here, which is used for irrigation. Without irrigation, you can't grow, actually you can't raise seedlings because many of them needed to be watered twice during dry season. So they are very delicate.
Twice a day.
Of course, yes, twice a day in dry season. Some are very delicate. So you cannot run a business like this without a reliable water source. You can't. If you are near a big water body, your irrigation cost will be cheap. You just pull the water. But if you don't have, you're going to have to create a source that you can use for running the business.
Yeah. You said you hope people don't jump into it, without understanding that it's not just a perfect business. It's not something that you can leave the job you have and join and everything is perfect. So maybe we can talk more about these challenges that you face as a farmer, that you wouldn't want to discourage the farmers back at home or the farmers to be back at home, but just to enlighten them and let them know that it's not a smooth path. What are these challenges?
There are many challenges, but I think for a business like this, the main challenge is the access to affordable financing. It's very difficult to get money to run this kind of business. You go to the banks, you find the interest rate is 27%, 25%. You can't pay back. You cannot borrow money at that interest rate and make money and pay. It's too high. Then you go to some of these other facilities where you can borrow. The interests are very high, like 10% per month. And then you go to government programs like a cultural facility grant, which is supposed to help farmers at lower interest rate.
Yeah.
But still there are challenges because they want collateral. They will want you to have some property somewhere and then give you half of that value.
Yeah.
So now say here, if I want to take this into the next level, if I want 500 million, I will need to present to the bank a property of worth 1 billion. So if you are starting,
Wait, can you repeat that again? If you are looking for how much, you will need
500
million. You need to put collateral of
that is twice the value.
twice the value.
So that's, I'm just giving that as an example.
It's an
now,
example.
if you are beginning, you haven't had much property, you are building.
Yes.
So where do you get the collateral?
Where do you get that collateral? That is true, yeah.
Now, for this case, for example, you can take the title, and then you say, okay, I'm going to give you the title, give me some money, the value this and say this. But even then, when you are still developing a place like this, you are still buying land. You don't want to get the title. You actually need money to expand this so that you can expand the size you're buying land. So in that process, when you don't have a title and you don't have other properties, then you are stuck. You have to look for money from other sources. So that's what many businesses suffer. And a business like this, you need money upfront, because we are not trading something that is ready-made. For other businesses, for example, you can liaise with suppliers, say, okay, give us these products. When we sell, we can give you back. But here, you produce, you sell what you produce.
Yes.
So if you don't produce, you don't sell.
You don't
so
sell.
You actually need the money upfront.
Yeah.
And the other challenge is related with marketing. So a business like this, you cannot easily predict how many seedlings of each type people will demand. You have to do some projections, but it's still very difficult. And many of these organizations that buy don't actually give you information in advance. They can contact you, or they advertise, you apply, you have no idea whether you're going to be given one. So they can give you a contract, they give you 2 weeks or 3 weeks to deliver thousands of seedlings. And you didn't know at the start of the season that they will need one.
So that much.
Now, how much do you produce in a season? It's a very big challenge to us.
Yes.
How much do you
and
produce?
In 3 weeks, you can't magically.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
So we keep encouraging organizations that, why don't you say give longer term framework contracts, or you give contracts of at least 3-4 months. Many seedlings get ready between 3 and 4 months. Maybe fruit seedlings much longer, 1 year, like that. But for seedlings that can be grown within a month, we encourage them to do that. So setting up targets is a very big challenge for us. So sometimes you just try to maybe have a mid number like 20,000, 30,000, hoping that some people will come. If they don't come, that become your loss. If you can't keep them, there are some we cannot keep beyond 1.5 years. So you have to throw them away or give that. So this kind of challenge. But of course, also there are other challenges now related with weather, changing weather patterns. You produce seedlings like this, you expect rains to come in what? In April, so that people start buying seedlings. Then April passes, there's no rain, your seedlings are overgrowing. Then in May, June, they're overgrowing, you don't have money. You remember you spend a lot of money raising these things. You have not recovered your money. Then the second season is coming. So those are the things. So you have to see how much of it do you produce. Are people going to buy this?
Yeah.
And if rains don't come, even people are ready, they cannot buy. So those are the uncertainties in our business like this. Yeah, that's why many small scale nurseries over the past few years have closed, because the challenges are many, and the market has been difficult also.
Yeah.
Tonight in our Expert Opinion segment, Youth Platform Africa shares practical tips on the best feeding practices for goat farming. Stay tuned.
Yes, so what I'm holding here, these are called pellets. Pellets are very good for kids. You know, kids pick a lot every morning, every evening, every time they pick a lot. But these pellets are made of these mukuna beans. You can see these are highly nutritious for proteins. Then we also have the bran. It can be maize bran or wheat bran. And this is the pellet maker. This is how it looks. So you pour here a portion, then you add any other nutritious pasture like that you see, and you end up getting the best feeds for meat goats, for kids, for pregnant goats, and that would give you a lot of results. So when we are doing feeds, we are always cautious about what exactly we need. Before you make your mixture, what do you concentrate? What are you looking for? Are you looking for milk, or you're looking for muscle? So if you're looking for muscle, you have to put a lot of protein. For those of you that know mukuna is even good for people who need protein. They can do this, you see? So it is very good. And then this bran, of course, gives us the carbohydrates. It gives us all the calories that we need. And muscles cannot be without carbohydrates. Then we can add forage, because these are animals. They are ruminants. They don't eat food like people, so they need forage. So forage, you can use any protein, the products or crops with a lot of protein. That is maybe alfalfa, it could be the mukuna leaves themselves, it could be lablab, it could be chloris guyana, it could be any other forage that you can add, and you'll have very, very nice pellets. It is not all about pellets. Also, this one. So this is dry matter. Dry matter is very good because the fresh matter, an animal needs about 3 kilograms. 3 kilograms. But on dry matter, it only takes half a kilogram. It's okay, you can take back. Dry matter saves us a lot of money, and it gives you results very quick. Because when goats eat dry matter, they eat exactly what they need. It takes just a little, and the body grows very fast. So for those of you who want to do your goats very well, you need to make sure you give them a lot of dry matter rather than fresh. Of course, we have fresh like the super napier, the pak chong, we have the caliandra, you have the maize silage. All that can be eaten as fresh, but that fresh does not give us results. It has a lot of cow dung or goat droppings. That is why you see cows have a lot of cows on zero grazing have very limited cow dung, and cows on free range will have a lot of cow dung because there is a lot of waste. So it same applies with goats. When goats eat dry matter, the droppings are limited. So it means most of the food is digested into the body and it works very easy. Metabolism works so easily and quickly when it feeds on dry matter. That is why, for those of you that know goats, or those that have visited, you see goats in cattle corridor are doing pretty much well. Why? Because the shrubs there are very dry, and when the shrubs are dry, for example, let me show you here. So when a cow eats something like this, you see, when a goat eats something like this, it works. That is why in dry season, you find goats are thriving. They are enjoying the weather. Why? Because that is what makes the goats pretty much happy. And you'll find cows are doing pretty much bad. Why? Because they are used to eating silage and fresh grass. So when you make the dry matter available for these goats, you're going to get a lot of benefit. So, and also, pellets are very good for kids, for breastfeeding mothers, for pregnant mothers, I mean the goats. And also, the goats that are on dieting. If you have been just through a synchronization season, for example, you have been, now it is a mating season. If it is a mating season, the bucks use a lot of effort to make sure they fertilize all the goats. So after fertilizing all the goats, make sure you take them to feeding diet. Our dry matter there is comprising of about 4 different things, including soya, it includes alfalfa, it includes chloris and bran. 4 things. I said soya, alfalfa, chloris and bran. So if you don't have soya, you can replace it with mukuna. And that concentrate, a goat will only take half a kg a day and it will be done for the day. Thank you so much. Youth Platform Africa is here to make sure that you always get what you need to know so that you can benefit from agriculture. I, for one, have benefited, and I urge other people, other youth like me, other old people, whoever wants to make money. Politics is not the game. Let's make money in agriculture.